Colleen, let's join.
Okay.
Good, yes.
Okay, we have about 1 more minute before 9:30. Okay, I think it's officially a minute after 9:30. I will call the meeting to order, the meeting of the Academic and Student Affairs Committee. We have, I believe, 4 members of the committee online. Do you want to take an official roll?
Yes, I will. Regent Budd,
Here.
Regent Howery,
Here.
and Regent Seesanker.
Here.
Okay. And I know Regent Cohen is not in attendance today.
Right.
And
right.
Chair Harris.
I'm here. I want to welcome everyone to the first meeting of the Academic and Student Affairs Committee for the 2021 academic year. I hope everyone had a healthy summer. I know it's been a very strange summer. And I want to thank everyone on line today for all the work they're doing in getting academic year started. I know it's very, very difficult. The thing I'm learning as I read what's happening across the country is there's no right answer. Anything you do has downsides, so we have to keep on doing our best and being flexible in what we are doing and be willing to change in a moment's notice if we feel that things are not going the way we had hoped. So I thank you again. I know it's a very difficult time, both as a faculty member, as an administrator, and let's hope we will be able to have some normalcy, certainly by the 2022 academic year. I hope before then. So with that, I also want to just let you know that Regent Cohen is not with us today because she had knee surgery yesterday.
Oh boy.
And she's doing very well. I was surprised. I had a call from her about something board business late yesterday afternoon. I said, you weren't supposed to be talking today. So she is doing fine and hopes to be going home actually from the hospital this morning. I think we have a new staff member who actually is joined us today, Pam Helene. Pam here, there she is. And Pam is Associate Director, I believe, of Board Affairs. And so she will be attending a number of our meetings as we move along and helping us with issues that come up, technical issues. Okay, to the agenda. The first on the agenda are actually, we have two sets of minutes to approve. We have the minutes of June 5th of the Academic and Student Affairs Committee. May I have a motion to approve?
I move. Aviva move.
Okay, and Holly second. I guess we have two people, so one or the other. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone not? Okay, then the motion carries. July, I guess we're getting a lot of feedback. But the July 20th meeting, joint meeting of the board and the administration committee, the board, excuse me, ASA and administration committee. I don't see something.
Merle, it looks like it's caller 22 maybe needs to mute.
Okay. Okay. I would like to have a motion to approve those minutes. As you, for those that are not on the committee, we met jointly to approve some changes in Title IX that were required by the federal government by August 15th. And so it affects employees, it affects students. We had a joint meeting and there was a resolution before the board in August at our August meeting. So may I have a motion to approve those minutes?
You go.
So moved, it's Holly.
Okay.
And
And Aviva seconds it. Thank you. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? The motion carries. The next item is the consent agenda. And we have two discontinuations. May I have a motion to approve those two discontinuations?
I so move.
A second? A second. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, now on to the action items. I just want to make one general comment about the action items, having read them and having talked to Jane about it. I think we as board members have a fiscal responsibility, a fiduciary responsibility on what happens. And unfortunately, as we'll see in the next meeting of the board and then in October, we are addressing some serious fiscal concerns. We've already had problems. COVID is increasing them, not only in our institutions, but across the state. So we are going to have to look very carefully when we approve new programs that they're sound, that they don't add additional costs, and that there has to be really a good economic need for the program in order to move ahead. So you're going to hear some of that discussion today, and I really want everyone to know that we're going to take a real look at that issue as we move forward until we're out of this situation. So that's just kind of an introductory comment that will let everyone know what we're going to be talking about on a couple of these programs today, because it's a serious concern. Okay, the first action item then is accreditation of a licensed program, and it's a registered medical assisting program at Asnaptuck Community College. May I have a motion?
So moved, it's Holly.
Move.
And may I have a second? Okay, I guess we're all set. Motion and a second. Jane Gates, Dr. Gates, will you introduce the item, please?
Thank you, Chair Harris. Asnaptuck Community College seeks approval of continued accreditation of a program in registered medical assistant, leading to an associate degree. The program prepares students to sit for a voluntary, nationally and internationally recognized certification for allied health professionals. There are no curriculum changes. And here to provide additional information with this morning is Dean Foley. Teresa.
Good morning. Good morning, Regent and Dr. Gates. So I have Michelle Howard-Swan, who is our Allied Health Program Coordinator, on the line with me today to help answer any specific questions related to the program itself or the application. Just a point of clarification, I believe the material that's in the packet indicates the title of the program is required a registered medical assisting, and it should read registered medical assistant. So I did send a corrected document to Pat Riz last night. So sorry for the error and confusion that this may have caused. In general, the RMA Associate's Degree Program is part of a stackable program along with the RMA Certificate Program, which was approved for recertification in the fall of 19. Both programs were transitioned to academic affairs from continuing education at Nantucket in 2016-2017. Thus, the first few years of the program included a combination of students who were either finishing up their continuing ed program or starting their certification degree program. So as Nantucket has experienced relatively steady enrollment in our RMA certificate and AS degree programs over the past 3 years, and this fall semester we've had an explosion of students coming in and seeking this program. Based on our current needs in the healthcare industry, based on jobs EQ data, there is expected demand for RMA jobs through 2027, and we anticipate a steady increase in enrollment over the next 3 years based on employment projections. Students enrolled in the program have the option to take the national certification exam from the American Medical Technologists, and 100% of the Nantucket students who have sat for this exam have passed it, compared to a national average of 81% of students who pass. 95% of our graduates of the RMA program are successfully employed in the field, and we currently have students participating in externships in doctors' offices and medical facilities throughout the North Central Connecticut and the South Central Massachusetts areas. We project enrollments to continue to rise, which will result in an overall cost estimate surplus by the academic year of 2022-23. Are there any specific questions?
Good morning. This is Regent Howard. So you said there was an explosion of interest, and I understand that given the current situation. Is it fair to say that the system as it's set up right now, the course schedule is profitable, or at least break even at this point, or is expanding?
I'm sorry, I can't hear. You're not coming up clearly.
Okay. Try that again. So my question was, you said there were additional students coming in this fall.
Yes, we added some sections of courses this fall, and we've also expanded the number of seats in other sections in order to adjust for the increased demand for students interested in this program.
So is it fair to say that the program is at least break even at this point?
The program is definitely growing, yes.
Okay.
Students are seeking jobs.
Can I ask a question, Pat? Is everyone who's just calling in, are they muted? I don't, because there's a terrible.
It looks like I'm going down the list now. Can you hear me?
Yes.
Looks like everyone is muted at this point.
Okay. I guess I'm going to ask board members who are not speaking, including me, at the moment they're not speaking, to put yourself on mute. Everyone should be on mute except the speaker because there's too much feedback. Okay.
Oh, much better. Okay, I'll mute myself, make sure.
Okay, if you could repeat the question, maybe I could answer more clearly.
I find Earl Harris is muted.
Chair Harris, you're muted. Oh, there we
Holly
go.
had asked, I guess, about enrollment. That was the last question.
The enrollment in the program itself is increasing. I don't have the exact number of students right now for the fall.
But
I
it is growing because the numbers don't show that there's been the kind of growth I think that we expected to see when it shifted from a non-credit to a credit program. And I think Aviva may have had a question about that as well.
Okay.
Richard Bud, did you?
For the head count, we have numbers as of through spring. So for the AS degree program itself, we started with 59 students in the fall of 18. And then it has grown in spring of 19, it was 76 for head count. Fall of 19, it was 70. And in spring of 20, it was down to 39. I'm not exactly certain what the number is right now for the fall semester. But students are successfully completing the program and getting jobs. And
Right.
we're getting a lot of activity.
Right, but if you look on page 28 of the board agenda, I think that's where it's showing the 7th semester. I guess there are 20. Was that 26 students? I guess. Okay.
The FTE, yes. We had projected 5 students
Okay.
at the end of year 3.
Are there any other questions on this program?
Hi, this is Michelle, the Allied Health Coordinator. I just wanted to let you know we have about 35 new students that have enrolled for this fall.
Thank you. Thank you very much.
Okay, Pearl, I didn't understand your answer, but with 35 students for the fall, I don't care. That's good.
Okay. Okay. Good. Good. Okay. Then.
Welcome to WebEx. Enter your access code or meeting number followed by pound.
What in the world? We're just waiting 1 minute. Okay.
Enter your attendee ID number followed by pound. If you do not know your attendee number, press pound to continue.
What is that?
Oh, I think you're not muted.
Uh-oh.
I don't know what's happening. There you go.
Okay. All right. All in favor of the motion to approve the, I guess it's registered medical technician program. Is that correct? Associate of Science at Asnuntuck?
Registered medical assistant.
That's what I thought. Okay. I thought you were corrected that. So it's the accreditation of the registered medical assistant program leading to
Correct.
an Associate of Science degree at Asnuntuck Community College. That's the actual motion with correction of the naming in the written document. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Carries. We'll now go to the next item on the agenda.
Modifications?
The next item of the agenda is Business Administration, Associate of Science degree at Manchester Community College, and this is a modification of the instruction modality. May I have a motion?
I move.
Okay.
Seconded.
Aviva and Holly, thank you. Okay. Dr. Gates, will you introduce this? And Aviva, want to go on mute so that we can see what we can do here?
Manchester Community College requests approval of a change only in instructional modality to add to its already traditional program delivery in business administration, leading to an Associate of Science degree. And given the current COVID circumstances, this clearly is a very understandable action on the part and forward thinking on the part of Manchester Community College. The interim dean Dr. Salmon will provide additional comments if needed.
Good morning, Chair Harris. Good morning, Dr. Gates.
Morning.
I have here with me also Professor Doug Dorsey to introduce this program and answer questions. So I'm just not quite sure if he's listening or with us. Professor Dorsey?
I am here with everyone.
Okay, wonderful. So you can take it from here,
Yes,
please.
good morning, everyone. Good morning.
Morning.
Yes, so I'd like to ask for a quick point of clarification before I talk about the program, and I apologize, I read the agenda. I did receive it, I read it yesterday, but we had actually had 2 modifications to this program approved back in June, and I'm not sure if this is just one modification that we're doing today in regards to the online, but there was also an accelerated program that we also approved on June 5th at the ACA meeting.
Dr. Gates?
The only program that was moved forward from the administrative assistant for this meeting was the change in modality.
But yeah, but in the discussion, they do talk about the change in the length of the semester too.
Yes.
So I thought that, is that what you're talking? I thought that
Yes.
this motion encompassed that. When we went to the online modality, it allowed also for an accelerated program, and I could be wrong.
So if in
Okay,
fact,
that's a good question.
when we look at the application and what the institution is requesting, I do recall back in June the discussion, but we looked very carefully at what your application that's submitted. But in fact, because you're asking for a change in the offering of the course, if Chair Harris is open to including that accelerated request, that remains with the chair. But the way we basically move this forward is when we look specifically at what you write in that application, and what we see is the change in modality. We should have, in fact, added, or the institution, that additional accelerated.
I guess,
Yes.
yeah. I guess a question I have is, there will be a choice if you're taking an online program. There'll be a choice of either an 8-week course or a regular traditional semester length. Is that correct?
Yes, so currently right now we have the traditional 2-year program, and what we're trying to, the modification is to also have an online version of that program as well as an accelerated version of that program.
So the 8-week, I guess I'm confused. That's the feedback. I've never, okay. The question I have is, if I'm a student that's doing this completely online, I could do the whole program in 8-week courses, or I could do it in full semester courses. Is that correct?
No, that's not quite correct. The online program has every single course in it. It's offered completely online. The accelerated program is 8-week courses, of which the students would come to campus for 1 night a week, as well as take online courses.
Ooh. Maybe, I guess, I don't know how the other committee members feel. I guess I feel right now maybe we should just approve the online modality and then come back with the So let me say one thing and one more time. What if I'm an on-ground student completely? Could I take the 8-week courses are only
Yes,
going to be
you can.
offered on? Okay. I can mix it
Yes,
up
you
any way
can.
I want. And if they're
Absolutely. Which is,
yeah,
I'm
they're
sorry.
actually, okay, they're actually the same courses. The content will be the same, or the outcomes will be the same, I should say, correct?
The courses and the outcomes are exactly the same.
Okay, it's just,
And one of the advantages was to give students the opportunity to actually speed up their time to degree through taking either some 8 weeks or online or just staying with the traditional course offering.
Chair Harris, it seems to me that what's missing here isn't the need for an additional application.
right,
They're only speaking to a change in the modules and how they offer. So there are no changes in the course, in the curriculum. It's just the time frame.
right,
So I don't know, and that perhaps is why there was no additional reference in the application, because
right,
we typically do not approve those just similar to the 6 weeks that's in Charter Oak College. We typically don't approve those, but it's part of the application
right, right.
already.
I agree. I think if we approve this, as I started with, we should encompass the whole thing because that is a choice. And 8-week courses are becoming very traditional throughout higher education today. I mean, because it allows students more options to accelerate or just to take one course at a time, even if you're going to end up doing the same number of credits in a semester. It's easier on a working adult to do it that way. So I think we should approve, if we approve the request, we approve the application, we definitely should approve the whole thing. Thank you, Dr. Gates. And I'm glad we talked that through and clarified it. Any questions from members of the committee? No, I hear no questions, and I'll call for a vote on the motion. All in favor of approving the modification to an introduction of an online modality at Manchester Community College for the AS and Business Administration, please say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, the motion carries.
Thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Thank you very much. We're finally moving ahead with online instruction in the state. The next is the Health Information Management Program at Middlesex Community College. The first is the on-ground program, and then we'll move to the online program. May I have a motion for the modifications in the on-ground program?
I so move.
I second.
Okay, we have a motion and a second for the on-ground program in health information management at Middlesex Community College, and there are significant modifications, of course, to the program. Dr. Gates?
Thank you. Middlesex Community College requests approval of modification of several items here, both on-ground, online, modification of courses, course substitutions, change in program title from health information management to health information technology, and a change in classification of instructional program, which we frequently refer to as CIP code, in addition to an online modality leading to an Associate of Science degree. Dean Shirley Mathis will provide additional information regarding this request.
Good morning, everyone. I hope you're well this morning. Middlesex would like to present 4 program modifications to the Health Information Management Program. The program modifications are for the associate and certificate degrees in our online and on-ground options. Middlesex is modifying these programs to comply with changes in accreditation standards. In addition, Name changes are being requested for both programs to meet these accreditation standards, Department of Labor changes, and application for unique program status. The HIM program is the only accredited associate certificate program in the state. We have a strong transfer partnership with Charter Oak State College, aligning curriculum to ensure accreditation standards are met. Our program is designed to meet the needs of employers in this particular healthcare sector. We have merged our introductory credit courses with non-credit courses in the workforce development program. This collaboration allows for a transition from non-credit to credit for students seeking to advance their education and employability. Our cohort is not restricted to 20 students as other specialized accredited health careers programs. We can accommodate up to 70 students before incorporating additional faculty. Our HIM faculty also teach courses that contain both program and non-program students without additional costs associated. Now that we are an NC-SARA institution, which allows for interstate offering of post-secondary distance education, we are able to actively recruit students outside of Connecticut to increase visibility of our program and increase in enrollment. We have seen a steady 10% increase in enrollment in our program and believe it will continue based on the need to manage healthcare data and information and our increased visibility and enrollment opportunities due to NC-SARA. At this time, I would like to introduce Program Coordinator Jill Flanagan to present the modifications.
Hi, thank you for having me here to introduce these changes today. I'd like to start by telling you a little bit about the health information profession, because health information professionals generally work behind the scenes in healthcare organizations, so they have little, if any, patient contact. And as a result, you may not be familiar with the responsibilities and scope of the health information profession. Everyone who works in healthcare uses health information, and nearly everyone who works in healthcare uses electronic health records. Touching these areas is not what defines health information management. Instead, health information management is defined as the practice of acquiring, analyzing, and protecting digital and traditional medical information. It's a combination of business, science, and information technology. Health information professionals manage health data. In the Bureau of Labor Statistics 2018 standard occupational classifications, health information technicians are cross-listed as both a healthcare occupation and a computer occupation. The HIM professional roles can be described as fitting into one of four areas, including information governance, coding and revenue cycle, informatics, and data analytics. Our certificate program is focused on the clinical coding and prepares students for roles in the coding and revenue cycle sector, while our associate degree program encompasses all four sectors. Our accrediting body, KHIM, approved new and revised set of curriculum standards in the fall, and I'm now bringing forward program changes to comply with these revised standards. Among those changes was a requirement to designate a program track. We had to select a focus on either revenue management or data management. We selected data management for our degree program as our advisory board felt that our certificate program would meet the needs of those students interested in revenue management, and the data management track was the best fit for our degree program. I do have a letter of support for these changes from Cindy Edgerton, the HIM program director at Charter Oak State College. We have collaborated closely to implement the new KHIM accreditation standards in both programs to maintain our seamless articulation. Among the program modifications today, I have program name changes. The intent of these changes is to make it clear to prospective students exactly what these programs encompass. Our current health information management certificate does not cover all four sectors of the HIM career map. It is a coding program. So the title Clinical Coding Certificate defines that program more precisely. Our degree program is currently titled Health Information Management, and that name is more commonly used at the bachelor's degree level. Most KHIM accredited associate degree programs are titled Health Information Technology. We would like to adopt this more specific name and add the description of the program track, making it clear what the program encompasses with the name Health Information Technology Data Management. The name changes would also assist in the process going forward to the one college. Our programs are currently unique in content, accreditation, and approval, but not in name in our system. Our KHIM accreditation and AHIMA PCAP program approval both require us to demonstrate assessment of competencies at specific Bloom's taxonomy levels in our courses across 6 domains. Our program courses reflect these specific competencies in Bloom's taxonomy levels and are not equivalent to courses with the same numbers taught on other campuses in the system. The program modifications include creating new course numbers to fit these courses that are unique to our program. The new program modifications do also fit with the new general education requirements. And we also gave consideration to guided pathways in our planning. Our program entry course was modified to eliminate prerequisites, enable students to take a program course in their first semester. And that program entry course was also modified to cover competencies of a first-year experience course. And finally, we also moved away from some directed electives to allow students more flexibility in transferring into the program or for accommodating those students interested in participating in our honors program. Thank you.
I guess there may be some questions about the budget. Is there, this is one of those complicated programs because you have various programs that we're going to be talking about, if I'm correct, that utilize the same faculty. Is that true?
Yes, if I could, I know Cheryl has some comments to make about this, but just to get us started, we did map our program pathway from non-credit through the certificate and the degree program. And because we were able to merge a couple of courses with the non-credit, we have a cohort of students going through our non-credit medical billing and coding who are in courses that are taught by the HIM faculty without additional expense. And in addition, we're also supporting other health programs because we're teaching the medical terminology courses, and we're also teaching some computer science application courses.
Regent Budd, do you have?
Well, I guess what you're saying is it's difficult to have a realistic budget. So when you reflect a budget which shows a built-in loss that's material, it's not giving us any real information as to what this is accomplishing. Your suggestions, I'm sure, don't affect your budget. I bet the budget problems were there long before the suggestions came up. Let me direct something to the suggestion. First of all, I may have missed it, and you may have said, you're focusing on data for your AS degree. When they take the exam for certification, which is the most important thing to go out and get a job, do they take different exams for different specialties that you focus on?
Yes, they do. Our degree program leads to sitting for a certification as a registered health information technician. And our certificate program leads to certification as a certified coding specialist. And so it's, there's different audiences for those as well. Just to give you an example,
I'm sorry to interrupt you because we're time. My question was wrong. I understand certificate. I was mixing up your degree students. That's for a registration of a certificate from the authorizing entities. They're specializing in data, right?
Yes.
Now, do they take an exam that's focused on the specialty in data as opposed to the alternative specialty of revenue, which you suggested? I guess there's some course, some.
No. Yeah, and that's something that I think a lot of us in the field have a little bit of a problem with. The certifying body did not change the content of the certification exam, but the accrediting body changed the curriculum requirements. So they don't match at this point.
Does that hurt success?
No, it doesn't, because
it's not going to hurt the success.
No. The certification exam is still based on the core competencies, while the accrediting body required us to add additional competencies in either of those specialties to meet the
I
accreditation
see. I
requirements.
see. Which is a higher level, so the
It
obvious,
is.
it won't, okay, now backing to the budget, what do you see as a realistic a presentation of your budget? I mean, if you,
Well,
I would
I-
think you'd want to aggregate everything that's coming into the system because of this program
Right.
against the
And
allocations for that program.
yes, and we did, map from the non-credit to the credit, and our incoming group this year, we have over 20 coming into the non-credit level. I have 35 new students in the certificate and degree program, and another 25 that are continuing from last year. So it has grown, and I think slow growth in the history of the program had to do with it took us a while to get our accreditations, and um, the program wasn't a smart choice for students without the accreditation. So that definitely delayed program growth. But now that both programs, the certificate and the degree, have those special accreditations and approvals, we're getting a lot of interest. I do track inquiries into the program, and my inquiries went up 3 times the rate that I had last year. And the NC Sarah will help us as well, because we're in a unique position, particularly with our certificate program. We are the only approved certificate in New England. So we have a pretty broad audience for that certificate, and we really don't have an enrollment cap on that because it can be offered all online.
I guess what you've done in your book, you've taken the enrollments and you've multiplied it times a low number of credits, I would think, because I don't understand why you present the budget in such a way that you're showing like $100,000 loss each year. What?
Yes, the budget form, I would say, is a work in progress, and it's something that we discussed and what is actually being requested of us in terms of what should be included in that budget. You're right. I think that we still probably are not completely addressing the addition of the non-credit factor in there, because there's a different budget that's associated with calculating the non-credit programs that are separate from calculating the credit programs. So what we did was try to use our best judgment and estimate about the number of students that will be coming through for that fall semester, knowing the courses that are in the program and they're still merged with non-credit program, and calculate based on that.
But it sounds to me like you have enough support in your credit program. I don't see the non-credit credit making that difference unless I'm missing something. Is there, I don't know, Merle, maybe you can help me on this. I guess I'm not asking the right questions, because I've never seen a budget presented like this, like the number of credits per student. And if you have a program, the people are in the whole program. The program is a 60 credit program over 2 years. So why are we having 9 credits for the fall of 2020? I mean, I don't know.
That's an average, because not every student who comes through the program will be a full-time student. Some will take the full 12 credit load.
Well, most people, most budgets show full-time, part-time, effective full-time students, and the aggregate revenue versus what it costs to teach these students, and your costs stay steady. And maybe that's the cost, is part of it should be allocated to a different number of students that are online. I don't know, but there's something wrong with how you're presenting the budget against your interest. The program sounds fine, and it sounds like people are getting what they need and going out and getting jobs and passing their exams. Now, all that's the side, you're almost in a reverse position of other people that are presented very clean budgets and don't have a program that's going to succeed. So you have a successful program, but I'm baffled by this presentation. Anyway, I'm finished. I'm not going to resolve it over the phone. Let's roll maybe
Yeah.
I'll get more clear.
This is something that we really need to look at because it's very hard for board members to just read. I think it's my computer that's doing all this.
Chair Harris?
Yeah.
I will add to the conversation in that there was a conversation with Middlesex about the disaggregating because the complexity of the different programs. But the CFO, Ben Barnes, has said he will have a new template available to project budgets, but we won't get it until November because he's dealing with all of the other COVID fiscal matters and the institutional budgets. We know that how we present the budget is less than optimal, but we are still working on trying to ensure that all of our institutions have access to the template. And in fact, Middlesex has done a really good job in presenting several ways each of these programs, while not capturing as accurately as they perhaps as it could be, how well the program is doing and the response to the accreditors' request.
I guess I agree with Regent Budd that this seems like a very sound program, a program that is attracting students, that there are jobs available, and that it is not losing money at this point in time. Is that correct? Okay, so I think that the question will not is a valid one that we need to look at. Unfortunately, if we don't get the forms until November, that means we won't be looking at programs probably until February using those forms. But I'll talk offline more with you about that, Jane, because I think maybe we can figure something
Yes.
out in the interim. Other questions then about this program? We have two programs that we actually have to act on. The first is the Health Information Management on Ground Associate of Science degree. So we have a motion on that, and I'll take a vote. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, we have the vote is in favor, and no one is opposed, since no one else is here voting. And we'll move on to the next item, which is the online program. And may I have a motion on that?
I so move.
I second.
We have a motion and a second on that. Are there any additional questions? And I'll take a vote on the motion. All in favor of approving Health Information Management online Associate of Science?
Aye.
Okay, we have vote in favor. Thank you. Anyone opposed? Just to be sure. We'll then move on. Thank you very much. It does sound like a successful program, and we will have to, and I'm glad that you will be able to offer it out of state as well. I think that will be very helpful over the next year or two.
I want to ask a question. Do you have a minute? You mentioned that Northwestern has a program that is not accredited. And it's like your program, but it doesn't qualify. Did I understand that?
That is true. We have other when the health information management programs were added to the system, they were added at 3 campuses, and Middlesex is the only program that went forward to meet the accreditation requirements and achieve that accreditation. So that means that the program at Northwestern students are not eligible for professional certification.
Wouldn't it be in our interest, given the consolidation that we're going through, to work towards getting that?
Well, the requirements, you would have to change all of the courses and all of the faculty because.
But thank you. I'm satisfied.
Yeah, I think we need to look at that issue, because if we're offering a program that doesn't end up with some kind of allowance for taking the exam, we're really in the long run doing a disservice. As you just said, initially you didn't get enrollment because you weren't accredited.
That's true.
So I think there is a problem, and I'm not sure if students always understand what they're getting into. So I think that's a question I'm glad you raised it, Aviva, because I think that's something we need to look into.
It may be time to terminate that program or change it totally. But
I would
sure
say,
too.
if I can jump in, probably change it, because I think they just really they're teaching something different. It probably needs a different name.
Okay, that's true too. It might be, but I think we should make sure that none of our programs do not mislead students. If they think they're going to be able to do something, they can't.
Right.
Students are very unsophisticated. I mean, when freshman students, I know that.
If we don't know, they certainly don't know.
Right, that's right. Okay, let's move on. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Good luck. We appreciate your time on this. And the next, we're going to go into the replication of a College of Technology program, Technology Studies, Data Science option, Associate Degree Science at Three Rivers Community College. May I have a motion?
I so moved. Did we miss the coding? Did we have a motion for coding separately from the two online?
Oh, did we take a vote, Pat, on the online one?
I think so.
Pardon? No.
Yeah,
Okay.
yes, we did.
Okay.
I
Yeah.
think you voted on the 2 degree programs, but not the certificate, if I was
Mm.
following.
Yes, we better vote on the certificate.
Yeah.
There were only two motions here, though.
Yeah, there's 2 motions.
Okay.
I thought it was for the on ground and online.
Yeah, we don't have the certificate on the agenda.
Yeah, it's underneath.
You're right. It's not on the agenda. It's in the packet.
No, actually, the way it's if you look at B2, the number 2 is the
Oh, it includes it. Okay.
yeah,
It's included, so we
includes the
didn't vote on it.
certificate. Yeah,
Okay,
and
we voted on it.
same thing with the certificate.
Oh, okay.
Correct.
All set.
Okay.
Yeah.
Right. The certificate is part of the parent program.
Okay.
Right.
Okay. All right. Fine. Okay. So we voted on both of those. Thank you.
Yeah. Okay.
It has it as a separate motion, but it's not. Okay.
I think
Can
it was
I have a motion on the College of Technology program? Holly? Aviva, do you second it?
Yes, seconded.
Okay.
Good.
Okay. Dr. Gates.
Thank you. Three Rivers Community College seeks approval of a replication of a College of Technology, COT, program, Technology Studies, and it is a data science option. We've seen this before. It was a way of accelerating our approval of these programs if they replicate programs that are already offered at other institutions. This program would lead to an Associate of Science degree. And to speak to the program is Dean Kim Barfield, who will provide additional information.
Good morning. So Three Rivers would like to present this replication of the Technology Studies Data Science AS option, which was developed at Northwestern. We would just like to emphasize that data science is a rapidly growing field that applies to many industries. The degree will offer local students more opportunities in the job market, providing them with highly sought out skills. Three Rivers has a unique location in the state to offer local businesses a place to train their current employees. Our proximity to military, defense industry, and business centers should translate into a great deal of interest. The program has no additional costs as it uses mostly existing courses and an existing program coordinator. But it should garner a projected enrollment of 45 by spring of year 3 and will then add significant revenue to the college. I have with me Professor Elizabeth Allen to provide more information and to answer questions.
Yes, good morning. Sorry that I'm not on video. We have recently started a certificate program at Three Rivers, which is already garnering, it actually just started this fall, and I've already got quite a few students on board and interested. So we had started this program, and it included with it several courses, including a new Intro to Data Science course, essentially. So when we built our replication, we wanted to include our course, which is a little different, but basically the same in its core from Northwestern's course, and that's where you will see the modification part of the degree there. And the COT and Northwestern agreed that our courses were similar enough that that made sense, and so we are happy to offer this degree program that includes courses that we are already in progress with in our certificate. I don't know if there are any questions about the program.
Whoops, any questions?
Hello?
Okay. Hearing no questions, then we'll take a vote on the motion to approve the COT program, Technology Studies, Data Science option associate degree at Three Rivers Community College. All in favor?
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Holly in favor. Okay. The motion carries. Thank you very much. Good. We're moving on to the next item. Thank you for your time. The next item, we're under new programs now, D. The first one is a Master of Science in Applied Behavioral Analysis at Southern Connecticut State University. May I have a motion?
Ms. Kelly, so moved.
Okay, I have a motion and a second. Dr. Gates.
Southern Connecticut State University seeks approval for licensure and accreditation of a 30-credit program in applied behavioral analysis, leading to a Master of Science degree. This program is also offered at Western Connecticut State University, but it is an online program. The program that's moved forward for consideration this morning from Southern Connecticut State University is an on-ground face-to-face program. Presenting additional information will be the Dean, Stephen Hedges.
Thank you, Provost Gates. Thank you, Chair Harris, to our regents as well. Can you hear me well? Okay. Can you hear me well? I just didn't hear any.
Yes.
Yes, Dr. Hedges,
Okay.
we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you,
Thank you
Dean
very
Hedges.
much. Thank you very much. So thank you for the opportunity to present this new program to you today. We're very excited about it. It is the product of several years of planning, strategic planning between the Provost Office and the College of Education. With me today is Dr. Megan Rum, who was actually one of the members of faculty that we hired a few years ago in support of developing programs in the ABA area. Just before I say a few words of background, that we just did note one slight typo in the agenda. It says applied behavioral analysis, and it's applied behavior analysis. It's correct everywhere else, but just want to be just make sure that that's accurately recorded in the minutes. So the program there's been a great increase in need in our state and nationwide as well in the past few years, and the demand exceeds the supply when looking at particular options in our state. In addition to the needs in schools, the superintendents network that I host quarterly for superintendents from our Greater New Haven region have mentioned and expressed need for both personnel and consultants who are BCBA licensed, and so there is a need in our school districts, and there's a need also in our communities as well. So students in this graduates in this area with this license actually have multiple opportunities for employment. There is no major resource pull. I understand we discussed this in the last meeting as well. What we've outlined in the budget is a percentage of time that will be both in the faculty that join me today and also and the chair's time. There will be no need. There'll be no need for new additional hires in the future. So our present resources, that is what we're focused on. We also have additional opportunities through our BOR Center for Excellence in Autism Spectrum Disorder as well. And there are opportunities through there and the network and the communities that we serve in that center to also reach out. We presently have over 30 students who are interested in signing up, which exceeds the number that we had planned in our budget. And we have also several businesses that are interested as well in developing cohorts with us. I'm going to hand that off for Megan to describe a little bit more about those specific state workforce needs as well, how our proposed program seek to address that. Thank you very much for your time.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me. As Dean Agata said, my name is Megan Brame. I'm one of the faculty in ABA at Southern, and I also serve on the board of directors for the Connecticut Association for Behavior Analysis. And in that capacity, I serve in our professional issues committee. And so kind of since this whole COVID thing has started, we've gone from having a shortage in the state of Connecticut to an emergency in the state of Connecticut with regard to trained behavior analysts. So not only do behavior analysts work in schools as consultants and often employed full-time by school districts, but we also have insurance coverage for our license, particular to the state of Connecticut. And so with that, what has happened is we have had an explosion in the state of individuals seeking behavior analytic treatment under insurance, primarily because so many students with additional needs are home and they're looking for home-based services. So we've definitely gone from having a shortage in the state to a bit of a crisis situation. Since the beginning of the certification in applied behavior analysis, we've never been able to meet the need, not just in Connecticut, but this is a nationwide issue. And now we are certainly in a place where we have a great number of individuals who are not being served because we just don't have the bodies. Southern is definitely in a unique position to fill that void. If you go from sort of the middle of the state area, there is not another master's in applied behavior analysis until you get to Columbia in New York City. So there's a large geographical area which needs some assistance, if you will, in our area. And so we are definitely looking to close that gap. And so with the kind of introduction of the potential for a master's, again, through that professional issues committee, I've been approached so far by 3 different very large behavior analytic companies in the state of Connecticut who are specifically looking to partner with Southern in terms of putting their staff, which all 3 of the companies have around 100 staff at any given time who would be eligible for this master's program. So they're looking to support their students coming through a master's program in our area of the state. So we have more students than we can serve already.
Thank you, Megan. And that's the, are there any questions we'd have to receive?
Questions? Maybe Megan can, Aviva.
Yeah, as I understand it, you're taking master's students in special education. Is that was the degree, and you're giving them the certification courses that allows them to get a cert or certificate for this specialty before, or what happens if they drop the master's after they have the certificate? Is that a possibility, or is that it's a concurrent educational, so they'll finish both?
So the master's is housed within special education. It's not a master's in special education. It's a master's in applied behavior analysis.
So it's a different master's from the one that you're offering. What I'm trying to do, see how the certificate fits in with the master's accomplishment.
Oh, I'm sorry. The certificate is built into the master's. So you have to finish the master's program in order to be eligible to become a licensed behavior analyst.
I see. So they go concurrently. It's
They do.
I
Yes.
see, and it's
We
like
had
a
to- we went-
embedded specialty in the masters that they're, and the overall masters is in behavior analysis.
Correct. Yes.
And that behavior analysis masters is not offered right now.
It is not.
Not. So this is both a new masters and preparation for the state certification.
Correct. Yes.
Okay. And it doesn't require any additional faculty that you don't already have.
No, it does not.
Thanks very much.
Sure.
Just one additional comment. We had to, all of us, go through a major upgrade, shall I say, of all of our master's programs, where you could decouple the certification from the master's program. That was a financial aid issue. And that's why I was up at the board several times. It was about 2 or 3 years ago. We had to fix it.
Given
Okay.
the need, it sounds like a really smart use of existing resources.
Thank you.
One question related to the type of people and the jobs available. I heard that you said that there's an increase in need. If I am a parent of a child that needs this kind of support, what kind of a person do I call? I mean, where do I get access to that resource?
So, truthfully, in the state of Connecticut, it depends on your child's age. So you can always go through 211. And 211 has a list of most of the behavior analytic companies within the state. In addition, all of the pediatricians in the state have lists of all the ABA companies. Any of our developmental pediatricians, neuropsychologists, any of those offices all have the lists in their office as well. And so most often referrals either come through 211 if the child is in the birth to 3 range, or if it's a home-based provider, they would get either information from their doctor or from their team as well.
Okay. The other question related to that, you noted that someone mentioned, I'm not sure if it was you or Dr. Hegedus, that business is starting to use this type of individual. What would that person be called in the business setting?
So this is actually an arm of behavior analysis. It's called organizational behavior management. And so they would still be a board certified behavior analyst. They would just specialize in organizational behavior management. And that is actually one of the classes that we added most recently. And so we have a full 3 credits now in organizational behavior management and supervision of personnel. So companies like Google, Facebook, Twitter, they all actually, Disney employs behavior analysts.
So that there's a future for perhaps expanding that to more than one course?
Yes, there is. At Courage, there's only one certified program in the country. So there's definitely a need and direction to move in.
Okay.
I have another question.
Sure.
Maybe you can be helpful in a very basic understanding of how is this applied behavior analysis different from a psychologist or psychiatrist? I mean, what is the nature of the behavior analysis we're talking about? Is it something that's in the psychologist's category generally? In the past, it sounds, well, for me, it's new, but I'm sure it's around 30 or 40 years.
Yeah, it's actually, it has traditionally been a very small field. Like in the statistics that were presented, it is rapidly growing. But what we really do is we kind of seesaw between psychology and education. So we look at both psychological concepts as well as concepts of learning and academic related behaviors. And so we take the principles of psychology and we implement those onto learning and different behaviors that are relevant for classrooms and for educational settings.
I see. So it's more like the psychology of learning, if I want
That's exactly it. Yes. Yes.
Describe that. It's like a specialty. And people, what kind of a job would somebody like that get? Give me just an example of what the job market would hold for this master's degree. Not the number of jobs, but what is the nature of the job?
The nature of the job most predominantly right now is behavioral interventions in schools. So kids who have significant behavior challenges.
I see. In the school system, not necessarily corporate, not a corporate situation.
That wouldn't be our largest job factor.
Okay, thank you. I'm happy. Thanks.
No problem.
Okay, any other questions? All in favor then of the motion to approve the Master of Science in Applied Behavior Analysis, MS at Southern Connecticut State University, say aye, please.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Motion carries. Okay, the
Thank you, Chair Harris.
Thank you very much. Exciting. Oh, I did have one question, Dr. Gates. Dr.
Yes.
Higgins, if you're still here. I know we have a program at Western. I assume that if you wanted to offer this online, you have to come back. Is that true?
Yes.
So that was a question. That was a question that came up last time. Not only would we need to come back, we'd also, correct me if I'm wrong, but I understand that we'd have to go and get this all reapproved as well. The Professional Association for ABA actually distinguishes between modality, and so it would need to be reapproved to go, and we haven't got plans to do that.
Okay, because I don't want to hurt Western. I mean,
No, we understand that.
Okay, I'm comfortable with it at this level, and we'd have to look at the big picture if you wanted to move into an online program. Okay,
yeah.
Thank you. Next item on the agenda, and actually it's the last action item, is the Master of Science degree in Civil Engineering at Central Connecticut State University. Could I have a motion to approve?
Aviva on mute, so I'll say so moved.
A second. Aviva, would you second it?
Holly, I second, whatever.
Okay. Okay, whatever.
That's it, we're a team.
Okay, Dr. Gates.
Central Connecticut State University seeks approval for licensure and accreditation of a 30-credit program in civil engineering leading to a Master of Science degree. Provost David Dahlwalder will introduce speakers from the institution and provide additional comments regarding the degree request.
Well, on your advice, Dr. Gates, we had sent you a notice this morning that we were going to withdraw the site.
Excellent. Oh, not excellent, but we know why that was moved forward. You have withdrawn?
Yes.
Okay, that application, thank you. I didn't get, I've been checking the email, but I did not get that. So we are then formally withdrawing that new degree proposal at this point. And look forward to considering additional review of the program. Thank you, Provost Dahlwalder.
And I guess I'll make one comment. It relates to the comment I made earlier. So if you are considering submitting it, you'll understand what our major issue is. It's not with the quality of the program. It is in hiring additional faculty for this program from the first day, and looking at programs in the state that exist and how they have lost enrollment in master's degrees in civil engineering, how those two go together. It seems that in this environment where we're going to see additional budget cuts throughout this year, that is very difficult to do. So that is our major issue. And if you can think about that before you resubmit something, that would really help the discussion. Thank you.
Thank you. Your explanation is helpful.
Thank you. Okay. Any other? We have two. I guess we have two information items. One is the letter from NECHI on Housatonic. We don't have to discuss this at this time unless anyone had a question. And changes in the addiction counseling program. at Southern Connecticut State University, but they're minor, so we do not have to discuss them or vote on them. Okay. Thank you again, everyone. I think this is a record. We really did get through it pretty quickly for us. And I thank everyone. I hope you all have a very satisfactory Labor Day weekend. Get outside because that's a healthy place to be. And I think the weather is going to be nice. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.
A motion to adjourn.
I move.
Second. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay. Thank you very much.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Bye. Happy Labor Day weekend.
Thank you, everyone.
Thank you.
Harris, Dr. Gates, Pat, thank you very much.
Thank you.